There we go. Alright. 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 I think everything is good to go. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. So yeah, as always everyone, heyo, Buffalo Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Rose is here, and welcome to an early installment of Elden Ring Night Rain. Wasn't really doing much or anything like that, and I was just like, you know what, I think I might try my luck at playing some Night Rain early and everything, because I may or may not do a possible second stream today, because as I found out a little while ago before I went live, apparently Dead by Daylight has brought back Chaos Shuffle, so I may or may not try and do a thing with that. Um, but in the last stream that we did, we were doing a little playthrough of the game as Scholar, because as I talked about before, ever since I managed to complete everything in the DLC, from like beating the beating the two new bosses, doing both the remembrances for Scholar and Undertaker, beating the Everdark version of Balancers that got shadow dropped, getting all of the new relics and stuff like that from the collector sideboard and everything like that. I said that I was going to be doing a thing where I do like some more playthroughs, especially doing a playthrough of the game where I try out the new Nightfarers against the main bosses of Night Rain. So mainly like everything that's not Balancers or Dreadlord. So yeah, last time I did this, we had gone up against the first two bosses, which was Tricephalos and Gaping Jaw. I think I can't remember for a second for sure, but like I know that we got through them both. I do know that the first encounter, the first little attempt of doing Tricephalos was, and I know it didn't go too well because people were because like my random teammates had left and everything. But we got through it nonetheless, and and all that. So yeah, we're gonna press on, as they say. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be playing a Scholar because I did the thing as Undertaker, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna show off the build and everything because I'm pretty sure people want to see what kind of stuff I'm loading, I'm rocking. This is what I'm rocking right here. I'm using Sealed Scholar's Urn, which has a yellow and 2 red slots. And the first thing is I'm using Note My Dear Successor, which is a yellow thing, which you can get this from doing Scholar's Remembrance. So, the two things, so the first two things are scholar-specific stuff, which is allies targeted by character skill gain boosted attack. So basically, whenever I do my analyzing path, like ability, and like when I'm trying to do a thing against like the bosses and whatnot, any one of my teammates that is in my little analyze bubble or circle or whatever, they gain boosted attack. They gain a little bit of a boost in their attack and stuff. Second is prevent slowing of character skill progress, and then character skill cooldown reduction +3. So yeah. Next up is Cleansing Tear, which is another thing Kashibo will get for Scholar in his Remembrance. The first one is continuous damage inflicted on targets through the ultimate art. So basically what happens is when you pop the ultimate art on Scholar, anything that is caught in the crossfire, aka the thread or whatever, they will take it's kind of small but it's like small but continuous damage and everything. Great to use for for like multiple enemies and stuff like that. Then you got improved infinity damage negation, and then defeating enemies fills more in the art gauge. And the final one that I'm using is a Grand Burning Scene, which I believe you will get this from the collector signboard when you beat a Neverdark version of a boss as Scholar, I think, because I didn't know this at first. Okay, like I didn't know this at first, but whenever you do a thing with apparently if you get the DLC and everything like that, you do some stuff as Scholar and Undertaker. I think you can be able to get like some additional relics. It's like some of them are kind of like specifically made for them, and then like there's what I guess you can call as like a universal relic slot stuff, where it's like it can have all three slots be used for everybody. But in this case, I'm using the one where it has HP restored. We're using medical boluses, etc. So I think it's things like like the boluses, the pickle foul feeds, stuff like that. Anything that it's like a consumable, I can be able to get a little bit of health back. Items confer effect on nearby allies. So things like pickle turtleneck, gold and silver pickle foul feet, the crabs. They can build confer effects to your teammates. And because of how I'm playing Scholar, if I can be able to level those bad boys up, they can be able to also apply directly to my teammates as well. And I have a small palace possession to start the expedition. Because the one thing about Scholar is that he is known to be able to have the ability to carry a bit more extra stuff than compared to what the other Nightfarers do. So, like, for example, I think, I want to say for like knives, for example, I think the common total for regular Nightfarers is about like 8, but for Scholar he can be able to have 12. Anything that was of 2 can be 4, and stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, that's how things are. Now the idea, the idea of how I usually try and do things with this is, I usually try to do 2 bosses per stream, and depending on how things go, will depend on if I save the VOD in full, or if I do like a half save type of thing, where it's like, say for example, I go up against Sentient Pest, I have a successful run, but I don't get a thing against Augur or Mirus, or whatever you want to call it. Chances are that I'll probably just do a thing where it's like I'll just save my little expedition run against Sentient Pest, But like say, for example, if I can't be able to get past, if I can't be able to make any progress, do Sentient Pest, then I will not fill out the stream at all. It's like and it's like, yeah, I do a little 2x2 thing, so it's like, like for this stream, I'm going to be trying to do Sentient Pest and Augur, and then the next stream will be Equilibrious Beast, Dark Drift Night, and then probably the final stream will be Fissure in the Fog and Night Aspect, so... so yeah. Now, unlike last time, I'm actually going to queue up for both of them, and see which one I get first. Just to kind of, to make things a little interesting. Okay, so it's going to be Sentient Pest. Looks like we'll have a Wilder and an Executor. Grandma, Killer, and Swipe? I don't know. Okay. Now, when it comes to this whole expedition thing, I usually try and do things in trios. Like I play with random people, and for the most part, if I will go until either we beat the boss, or we end up in defeat, or I might end things early if say both of my teammates leave for whatever reason, and go from there. Oh, I got both balance rocks on that dude and that dude. So both of my teammates have got both balancer relics going. Owie. Hey, motherfuckers, leave some little stuff for me, eh? Leave some of that consumable stuff for me, eh? I gotta be able to do a thing, to, level up and upgrade. Oh, what seals we got here? Blessing on the Air Tree. I'll do that for right now. Yo. I also noticed we got Doc Mateo. I also noticed we got the Doc Mateo shifting there, so that'll be interesting. Firepot, gold foul feed. go. I'll take maximum FP. Alright. Oh, just forgotten. That. Boiled crab. Boiled prawn. I'll take Spacing Stone 2. Improved poise. Yeah, sometimes you never know exactly when you're gonna find the, you never know sometimes when you're gonna find the red body on the battle. But the reason why I'm putting this one up here instead of like on my offhand, mainly is because of how like I got the blessing on the other tree. So it's like so like one of those situations where one's more of a thing than the other. But I'm keeping it for the. But I'm keeping it for the passive of like when like the enemies are defeated, like I get some HP back. I'll take that with me. I believe that is a dragon. Ow! I get fucking hit with a third whip. Seriously? Like I was trying to fucking get a swig of my heel. Oh, come on! I'm already full barred. Yeah, can we not like, can we not like fucking deal with this right now? Like we've literally already got like 2-bar, like double bar to triple bar. Yeah, thinking like we can do that some other time or whatever. Like it's not really worth it. Ugh. I don't know what that was, but clearly it was something better. Oh, Demi-Human Queen. Okay. Honestly, I would say, like, just saying, just fucking fuck that dragon. Like, I'll take it for. I'm taking the shield, so I'm, like have like the shield and poke, the whole shield and poke thing. I'm taking that for the golden vow. Yeah, so I'm taking it for the golden vow passive. I have no idea what the Executor's doing, but they probably gonna die. I don't know what they're doing, but they gonna die. My weird. There we go. I'll do FPE on successive attacks. I'm gonna save my Smithing Stone 2 for later because I might get some. Cause you never know, like I might get some even better to use, and I can probably use that for stone. This is grease. I'll take the fire grease because, well, fire, like fire, sentient paths, all that just jazz. It's like, why am I not like going up? I'll just hold on to it for now. Alright. What's this? I'll take that. I'm gonna go over here. Yep. Nope. I'm not gonna get hit with Death Blight. Ow. Oh, god damn it. Well, I'm gonna lose a level. Question is, where are they gonna put me? They're gonna put me in a weird, awkward spot. Okay, I know how to get back. Once I hate to do it. Try and see if I can maybe, go help them out. I'm pretty sure they're asking, they're probably thinking to themselves like, where the hell is this, this scholar at? What's this? Okay. I really need to try and go back. See if I can get my stuff. I have to remember, remember Kind of so I can remember the fucking layout and everything because, you know, like I only, you know, remember like certain paths and whatnot. You know, Wilder Ghost. I don't know if I'll be able to go, you know, to those places in time, but you know, like I said, like I would like to, you know, I would like to be able to try and get my shit back. Alright. I killed that fucker, got my runes back. Uh, Excuse me. Alright. We're at peak consumption. Gold. Take more HP. Good HP is nice. Alright, can I be able to get there in time? Hopefully, question mark. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, so a little bit of a rocky moment there, you know, in the city, but let's see. Well, what do you know? Do that, sure. Alright, so we got some fire stuff. We got some good weaponry, methinks, and we also have the ability to have a nice little revival in case if we somehow. I put it on the wrong fucking thing. Alright, so we know that's gonna be in phase 2. Get out of there! Oh my god, the fucking beam from above almost got me killed. Alright. So that went pretty nicely. Got a lot of blue. Sell that. Sell that. Decent, even like I don't think I'll ever use it. Sell. I'll keep. Why not? Okay, so that went pretty nice. I mean, like I said, even though we had a little bit of a situation with that one, that one night dude or whatever, we managed to bounce back a little bit. Got some nice weaponry and all that stuff, especially being able to have, something, that would, be helpful towards, killing the boss. see how things are against maybe getting paired up against Augur. This is probably the one moment where it's like I don't know if people are actually going to be queuing up for that boss or whatever. If Everdark Augur, if Everdark Augur was in this thing, I probably would have, maybe done that, but I think, it's not currently in the rotation. But yeah, I will say this though, like, when it comes to Scholar, cause I know like people have, have like their slight little mixed opinions and all that. To me, when it comes to playing as him, it's like, yeah, he's more of like a support character and all that. And this whole analyze thing, is something that's gonna probably take people off guard and be like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with this, that, and the other. But like I can dig them, especially if people may have mastered the ways of the Scholar and everything like that, like being able to being able to use it, use analyze properly, have a way to like boost boost items and stuff like that. I'd say in a way like I'd say like in a way that it's kind of like another like it's kind of like a different like a different Guardian type of character. Um, and the reason why I say that is because even though that like Guardian uses halberds and like Scholar uses thrusting sword, like it still kind of like plays out. It still kind of plays out like like kind of like the same way, because like at the end of the day, because what you might want to do most of the time is like if you have like if you can like maybe find like a nice little shield, and you'll probably be wanting to just like the whole like like just the pokey routine, like just like a shield, the shield poke routine. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have me a shield. I'm going to use it to to poke, and hopefully maybe if you get lucky, you find a shield with no skill, so you go to use your main skill from your main weapon, and and go from there. So. I'd say some of the things that I do kind of like about them is that, if you... I'd say some of the things I kind of like about it, per se, is, like, the whole situation with, like, you go to, sort of, like, debuff, like, debuff your enemies. I like how we can build to, I like how Zolk can build to help out in a, like, a crowded type situation, would it be like, say, like the Sentient Paths boss, where it's like, oh, you have to, try to have to deal with this whole situation with, like the moth that's up, that's flying up in the air, or the scorpion, or, or like having like a crowd, like in a cat, in a like a ruin or a catman or whatever, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it's definitely great. Um, I will admit, the whole situation with the the dodging's not quite my, quite my thing. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of used to like, regular role, like for example, like how, like how Raider here, would,
Care for a drink?
do his little role.
Don't be intimidated by the monster's numbers. one of them who won't go down with a clean blow to the head.
So, you know. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, like, you know, if you people do all that and everything. I'd say in a way that, like, scholars, I'd say in a way like scholars dodge is kind of like it's kind of like Duchess's, but a bit more slower.
What is it now? How long I've waited for this moment.
But yeah, like sometimes you know you gotta just you know sometimes you gotta you know just you know think you know kind of like I said it's gonna probably take like getting some used to with you know with the characters and all that, but like I'd say overall you know depending on you know the circumstances at hand you know like every, you know each one of them could have their like you know little you know nice little benefits and everything. You know. And I'd say in a sense, like, you know, depending on the situation at hand, like, you know, there are bosses, you know, like, there are times where I wouldn't mind, you know, playing as either one of the characters and all that. It's like, you know, I've talked about this before, you know, but, like, when it comes to, like, my most, like, common played characters, you know, like, I do like playing as Iron Knight because, you know, like, he's basically, like, this game's equivalent of a shooter type, you know, character. And even though he doesn't have guns, you know, like you know, has bows, and the one nice thing about it is in this game, you don't have to worry about like, you know, limits. You know, like you know, like basically like you have like unlimited bows no matter who you play as. Um, you know, another one that I probably play around with from time to time is Raider. You know, like I'm not gonna say like I fully, you know, like I'm like the fully got here mastered the, you know, the ways of the Oonga Boonga Bonkins, but you know, like I've had my fair share of playing characters, you know, with like big weapons, especially like you know, whether it be like in like a single big weapon to you know like having two of them and you know just like power stance them or whatever, you know, just go from there. Um, you know, like I say like you know like Iron Eye and you know a handful of other characters. You know, like I've got like you know particular loadouts made for you know for the majority of the bosses, if not all the bosses. Where it's like you know where it's like I have a thing where you know like I have like the main weakness for the boss or something secondary thereof to be able to use. You know, and has like you know additional little benefits. You know, whether it be something for myself or my allies or both, or you know whatever. So. If I was probably do a third, I'd say maybe like either Duchess or Undertaker. Even though it's been a slight hot minute since I last played as Duchess, uh, but with Duchess I do have a nice little build set up for her, where it's like I think I have like like Everdark Augur's relic on her, where it's like you know I think I have like maximum HP, continuous you know, HP recovery and all that stuff, and then I have it to where and then I have a thing where it's like you know her starting dagger deals bleed damage. The skill is poisonous mist. I have a thing where it's like you know I get HP back on dagger attacks, you know things like that. Um, Undertaker, I'm still kind of playing around with her per se, but like I feel like I've made some pretty nice builds. You know, some of them came from, some of them did come from online, you know, from online videos, stuff that I've seen. While others, you know, kind of came from, you know, from my own little ideas and whatnot. Um, Guardian, you know, like I don't mind playing Guardian from time to time, especially, you know, with how, you know, I do a thing where it's like where especially, you know, where I do a thing where it's like I try to have the ability to where it's like, you know, when I do my ult and I hold down my ult, you know, after I've done, you know, like the plunge, to where like, you know, I can be able to heal you know, myself and my allies, you know, if they're in you know, if they're in like, you know, the general facility and everything. Executor, Executor is nice little, another one that, you know, I might play with from time to time. Um, what I do is I usually have like a triple proc thing for him, and I think like I use his one of his remembrance relics, or I think it's like I think it's like the golden sprout or whatever, to where I think it's like more stuff about like I think it's most stuff about guarding type stuff, and then like roaring when I'm in my ultimate arc, built to restore HP and everything as well. Um, I do plan on doing a thing in the future where like I have like a quadruple proc executive run, because I will be doing a thing where it's like I'm going to be putting the Dreadlord relic on him, as well as the poison and frost stuff that I have on my main build. Um, not Scholar, Wilder. Wilder is another one of those little situations where it's like I have kind of like what I like to refer to as a bit like, it's kind of like a meta everyday build, you know, that I probably would use to, to use on him whenever I would switch to him, you know. But there are times where it'll be like, hey, you know, I'm going to, but there are going to be like, you know, times where it's like, you know, I might try and, you know, bring out certain loadouts for certain bosses. So I guess I can go ahead and kind of show. I mean, even though like some of them probably ain't going to show up in the, you know, the presets, you know, stuff, but there's, you know, some of the things that I've made. So like, you know, starting with Scholar, this is my little team loadout that I made. The the other slot that I would normally be known to use would be technically you know the auger relic right here, where it's like an increased maximum HP, flash kills allies, and items conferred to, you know, nearby allies. But I found, you know, when I found about this one, I was like, oh, you know, I can be able to have, you know, the items conferred to, you know, to allies. I can have HP restored on using, you know, consumables, and, you know, have an extra small pouch. Um, this right here for right now is just kind of something I was playing around with, because I was trying to like, I guess because I was kind of like trying to experiment with the whole situation of the blue relic right here, where it's like max HP increase for each great enemy defeated at a great church. You know, like arcane increase for each, you know, enemy defeated at a ruin, and then, you know, of course, max FP for each sorcerer's rise unlocked. And then I had the thing where it's like, you know, I had the continuous damage show by Ultimate Art, because it's one of the nice little things there. Then this one right here, it's pretty much a scholar loadout, to where it's like a majority of the effects, you know, are in pertain to the scholar himself. So, Alder and Iron Eye. Rated. And yeah, probably in the future, like, you know, probably in the future, like, I might do like a little revenge arc thing with Scholar and Undertaker, where it's like, you know, I try and make builds based around like the main effective weaknesses for the bosses, you know, and everything. Because I think like when I first played the DLC and everything like that, it's like yeah, it was like yeah, I made loadouts for what I had at the time, but you know because of how like you know that's you know because I've been like you know playing the game and you know getting more stuff and everything, and it's like oh I can you know probably be able to make new builds, make even better builds and stuff that I have. So yeah. But yeah, there's going to be more. But basically, there's going to be more Night Rain streams and everything like that, especially you know for like new build ideas. Uh, looky here, Herschel. We apparently we got a cheater. Take the fire pod because I don't like I'll take the fire pod, but I don't really need the shield grease because well I don't have a shield. So yeah, hold on. Let me see that. But yeah, so basically, this is a cheater. This is someone who edits the relics for whatever fucking reason. I don't know how they do it, especially because of it's on PlayStation and not PC. So let's go to the Earth Tree, Old Flame. I will take Wilder's thing for right now. Hey, look at that. But yeah, like I said, basically in a nutshell, these are not known to be a thing. It's not. It's basically like this person somehow use like some sort of like a cheat thing or like some sort of like program or something that might like change their somehow change their the relics to be like that. So let me on that. I got 3 warming stones. And for some reason, the Wilder decided to jump off a cliff. Reasons I will never know. I wonder if I'm not gonna speak on behalf of the Iron Eye, but I'm wondering if they're wondering what the fuck is this guy doing? Why did he just suddenly just die? Maximum FP. Yeah, I don't know exactly as to how people usually will, are able to, like, do that kind of shit. But I think like I remember seeing like a YouTube video where it's like on PC version at least they use, I think like they use this thing like called like Cheat Engine or something like that, where they somehow like do something with that, or like maybe somehow edit the relics in some sort of weird way. Let's take that. I will take that because it is auger and sleep resistant and stuff. So. What's this? Oh, Abominable. Shield Grease. Voltron. Getting equipment. Yeah, Jake, thanks, man. Well, while we're here, might as well do the annual quote-unquote tradition, end quote, where I check up here and see what kind of stuff is in these chests. Resistances. MP consumption. And yeah, I don't know if people are gonna have like the idea or whatever, but like of like the whole situation, like you're playing with someone who's playing, who's clearly cheating, but like he won't like you won't, but you're I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm a psychic motherfucker, but like I'm pretty sure some people might be look at this whole thing and be like, Rumble, you're playing with someone who's clearly cheating, because they add because they clearly have edited the relics and everything like that, and it's like, why are you still playing? And it's more or less the thing where it's like, well, you can only be able to do so much and everything, and it's like, what else can there's not much you can really do. It's like there's not much not much you can be able to really do, you know, other than just like, you know, be able to either like, you know, play it out or, you know, just, or, you know, like either like play it out or just, you know, leave and suffer who knows how long of a fucking queue time. I might as well be, and I might as well, you know, like do a thing where it's just like, you know what, where it's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna just roll with it, just roll with it, see what happens, you know, just maybe count this towards my little, you know, just count, you know, everything towards it or something like that, you know. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's kind of like a little situation where it's like, you know, you have to kind of like, you know, think to yourself, it's like, you know, do you want to be able to, you know, just play the game, you know, just do what you're wanting to do, or, you know, or do you want to like possibly be in queue times for who knows how long, and, you know, not, and, you know, probably never get to a session. Let's see what we got. I'll take that. So, but yeah, this is what it is. So. Wow. Attacks afflict sleep. I got bleed and sleep thing. That's funny. So I got frost, bleed, sleep, and lightning. And somehow he got Radon. Somehow this motherfucker got Radon's sword. What's that called again? Starscurv's greatsword. Like, wham! Well then. Sorceries, fire attack power. Well, it's one of those situations where it's like, you're gonna have to see how things play out, especially when it comes to the Bulls. It's like, it's like at this point, it's like, what could possibly happen next? I'm honestly, like as much as as it's crazy to see like this dude be like cheating with like the relic like the relic changes and all that shit. It's like it does kind of make me wonder in a sense about like how it does make me wonder in a sense about like how things are going to be when like if when we get to the boss, because I mean clearly we're gonna. Yeah, I switched from Wilder's thing to this because like I wanted a shield that had no skills, that way I could focus on like my main weapon. Hey, look at this. And like, look at this. It's not even. Storm's hasn't even rolled in yet. Wow, somehow this dude's even killing the guys in the chariots. Oh, come on! Yeah, just look at this shit, man. Play, dude. $100, $174. Wow, like we normally have never been able to have done a thing like this where it's like we get down here, kill the boss, all of a sudden like not like the storms coming, like kind of closing a little bit like that. Like this would be like the time where it's like, this would be like the time where normally the storm would have already been like, have closed in, and then like, then it would go into the, and then it would go into the whole situation of like, oh, now it's, like the next day, or well, like the final day or whatever, so. Ow. God damn, I can't get fucking hit in edgewise. I think, but like, where the fuck are they? They've been here. Yeah. Blessing of the Earth Tree and the Flame of Frenzy. How crazy is that? I feel like by the time, we all, we get done with this thing, this place, we're not gonna have a whole lot to do. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's like, honestly, at this point, like, I don't know what else we could do. Unless, like, we somehow went to the castle, but I don't think we'll be able to get, have enough time to go all the way up there, go all the way over there. about that thing? Well, the Iron Island, I guess, is where I'm to go, so let's do it to it, I guess. Ow. Okay, Herschel. Okay, it's gonna be the Godskins. Do I even need the alt at this point? Oh boy. Well, let's see how things go with the auger fight, shall we? I could probably do more, but it's like at this point, it's like I don't know. You know, if we got someone who's strong and he's OP, you know, as his Wilder, And it's like, yep. So yeah, that was a thing. You know, like Augur didn't even get to you know, Augur and Maris, whatever. They didn't even get to do their second phase. Yeah, that's not bad. Fires of punishment. So yeah, what can I say? Like that, you know, that's the thing. It's like it's not the first time, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time. You know, I come across people, you know, who do that. Where it's like, you know, like they edit, like they edit relics and and stuff like that. Let me see something. But yeah, I think that's gonna go ahead and do it for the stream and everything today. I may or may not do a second stream later on today. I might probably do like some random Dead by Daylight stuff. You know, I might see what what all's going on, because apparently, like I say, because apparently Chaos Shuffle is a thing it came out. It's coming out today. Especially I'm thinking for like the whole rank reset and whatnot. So yeah. But yeah, I don't look like it's to when I'll do more of my Night Rain playthrough with Scholar. Probably, I'd say probably like at most, maybe like next Thursday or something. Because I might kind of refer to that. That might be like the Thomas Thursday or something like that. But we'll see. Other than that, though, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream and everything. It was certainly quite something, especially to see someone see like a wild little relic using cheater, be able to do all that, because like you never know exactly as to when you're gonna encounter someone who's like that. You never know exactly as to how you never know exactly as to how you're going to encounter people like that, let alone when. So it's like, oh, let's try it out, and just see what happens. All that shit. So it still takes me back. It still kind of makes me wonder, like, on that one time whenever I faced Everdark Augur. I mean, not Everdark Libra. It makes me kind of wonder if, like, the person that I was playing with at the time and had done the thing where it's like, oh, or it's like, oh, yeah, they were using cheats, because of how they were able to pull crazy shit off and all that. But I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is. We got through it, so so next time I will be going up against Libra and hopefully maybe Dark Drift Knight. I might keep an eye out in a sense for, I might keep an eye out, for a sense of like, the, next Everdark Summit bosses, but for right now though, that's gonna be it for this stream. Everything. Like I said, like I wanted to kind of like, maybe, try and do a little stream early on, just see how things are, and, even though it was pretty quiet, which I'm used to it, like I'm used to not having like a whole lot of people coming by and chat and all that, but I'm used to it. And I know there are lurkers, and I appreciate lurkers, whether they, what, all that, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting until I go able to, type in my own chat, so I'm able to get, the raid and stuff set up. So, that's... Yeah, we're gonna go right into my friend Afflicted. He's currently playing some marbles on stream right now because he usually does a thing where it's like he'll play marbles for about like an hour or so, and then like the rest of the stream will be DVD. So, if everything goes well, like I said, I'll probably be doing some Dead by Daylight later, maybe some Dead by Daylight later on today. Maybe I might do some Chaos Shuffle, see how things go. Especially because of how they're doing the thing where it's like they have like randomized add-ons. I guess like for both, Survivor and Killer. But after that though, my next planned stream will be on Friday, which are going to be some Ion Fury. We're going to be doing more of the Aftershock DLC, see what that's all about. Saturday, we'll be shooting up Saturday with, it's going to be shooting up Saturday with, Freedom 2 with the Blork Demake mod, and then Sunday will probably be some more Batman Return to Arkham City to continue my third and technically final playthrough of like the main game and all that, on the New Game Plus. On Horde. But if you enjoy what you saw today, though, and you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to give the channel a follow and become a Rumble Maniac today. If you want to follow me anywhere else online, you can check out my YouTube channel, give it a sub, all usually good stuff. And feel free to follow me on Twitter. And until I see you all in the next video or live stream, as always, take care everybody, and I hope you all have a good week or weekend.